behavior addictions and the health benefits of daily life habits, focusing on the reward system. There is no COI on the study. Today's outline. The former two studies are neuroimaging studies of low to intermediate level of internet use and media multitasking. The next one is a questionnaire survey of exercise addiction and supplement use as an enhancement. And the last one is a neuroimaging study of highly skilled martial arts kendo as a habitual exercise for the players. We are currently investigating the relationship between life habits such as today's topics, that is internet use, multitasking, and mental health, from the perspective of behavioral addiction. The backbone of our working hypothesis is reward deficiency syndrome. People who are prone to addiction have deficiency in recruiting reward motivational circuitry, as suggested in this slide, presenting a negative correlation between dopaminergic neurotransmission and the body mass index in studies of obesity and overeating. The higher the addictive tendency, the lower the reward system activity. This is also the case across the behavioral addiction, including problematic use of internet, typically the dysregulation of mesolimbic dopamine system, assessed by PET, resting state fMRI, and abnormalities of white matter integrity, assessed by diffusion tensor imaging. However, a simple question is whether it is generalized to non-problematic behavioral habits. More specifically, our interest is to know whether there could be an optimized point of internet use for health benefits as far as the level is low to intermediate. Alternatively, all of the behaviors generally result in negative outcomes regardless of the decrease. In this study, we investigated the relationship between non-problematic internet use and the functional connectivity in the motivation network using resting state fMRI in over 100 healthy volunteers. The motivation network is widely overlapped with the reward system. As for the questionnaires, internet use was assessed using GPIUS-2 by Dr. Kaplan, which has 5 subscales such as internet use for mood regulation and the deficient self-regulation for internet use, and so on. Depression and autistic trait were also measured, since evidence suggests that comorbid disorders such as depression and autistic disorder would affect the internet use. Therefore, mediation analyses were performed to check the influences of BDI and AQ as mediators on the relationship between internet use and functional connectivities. Results. These red-colored connections mean positive correlations between GPIUS2 total scores and other two subscales, that is, mood regulation and deficient self-regulation, and functional connectivities in combination with two regions within the motivation network during resting state. Autism questionnaire was correlated with GPIUS2 positively, whereas with functional connectivities negatively. The mediation analysis revealed that AQ mediated the association between GPIUS2 total and the functional connectivities between left middle frontal gyrus and right medial prefrontal cortex. Although positive correlation between internet use and functional connectivity might be interpreted as a hyperactive networking, it would also indicate health benefits of the internet use as far as the level of the usage is not excessive. This tentative interpretation should be investigated from many perspectives. Additionally, this positive favorable association is attenuated in individuals with autistic traits, indicating the importance of personalized educational approaches in establishing their adequate internet literacy. Next, neural correlates of media multitasking in attention would be introduced. Media multitasking means the usage of different digital gadgets, TVs, and so on. As for the influences of media multitasking on attention, previous reports are inconsistent. Negative effects have been suggested in case the level is heavy. However, it is still unclear whether low to intermediate level multitasking has negative effects on cognition or not. In this study, we investigated the neural correlates of media multitasking in attention using functional connectivity analysis of fMRI during attention paradigm in 103 healthy volunteers. The degree of multitasking was measured a questionnaire named MMI. Resting and task fMRI scans under auditory audible paradigm were performed. The index of functional connectivity was degree centrality, that is, the number of functional connectivity based on graph theory. As a result, the average score of MMI in the current study was low to intermediate levels compared to other previous studies. Degree centralities during attention task was lower than those during resting state. As for the correlation, MMI scores was positively correlated with degree centralities during the audible task. The main results are summarized into 2 points, that is, decreased degree centrality during the audible task and a positive correlation between MMI and DC, degree centrality, during the audible task. These results indicate that higher MMI means smaller reduction of degree centrality, and it would be interpreted as more stable degree centrality in individuals with higher MMI tendency. Dr. Schultz et al. Reported that smaller differences of functional connectivities were associated with better task performance. Therefore, smaller degree centrality changes in high MMI subjects might be functionally suitable or efficient in cognitive processing. Thus, our results could indicate that higher degree centralities in intermediate multitaskers result in better attention performance. During the pandemic of COVID, an international questionnaire survey was performed among 8 countries, including Lithuania, UK, and Japan. I worked together with Professor Julius in this study last year, and one of the collaborators, Professor Karatza, reported that exercise addiction and dysmorphobia are the risk of potential excessive use of image and performance enhancing drug named iPads before COVID. This time, we focused on the risks of exercise addiction and related excessive iPads in terms of the differences among various kinds of sports disciplines. Methods are like this, that is, the number of the participants is over 2,000, and the main contents of the online questionnaire were exercise addiction inventory, EAI, and appearance anxiety inventory, AAI. The results suggested that endurance disciplines such as extreme conditioned program training were higher in EAI and AAI than other sports, with higher rate in iPad use. Regression analysis revealed higher iPad use with over cutoff EAI and AAI in people with habitual exercise. As well, similar results were found in 7 among 13 sports disciplines. In summary, these results suggest that higher in EAI and AAI would be the risks of iPads overuse, particularly in endurance sports disciplines, but regardless of the kind of sports disciplines, over cutoff levels. Finally, a neuroimaging study of martial arts Budo as an exercise habit is introduced. Although evidence suggests that martial arts have both physical and mental health benefits, the neural correlates of the benefits in attention processing is still unknown. We focused on highly skilled players of martial art kendo, a kind of fencing, in their motivation network activities during attention paradigms. The functional connectivities of motivation network during attention task and the resting state were compared between 14 kendo players and 11 controls. As a result, kendo player was lower during resting state and higher during attention task in the motivation network integrity. This sharpened resting versus attentionally driven contrast in the kendo players in motivation in response to cognitive demands would be the beneficial effects by habitual training. Summary of my presentation. The reward deficiency hypothesis would not always fully fit for the explanation for subclinical level daily habitual behaviors such as internet use and media multitasking. Adequate or optimized level is still unknown, but the management of life habits would be useful for mental health as one of the common interventional cues resulting in higher QOL. Further studies would be needed recruiting heavy internet users as well as common level users in longitudinal design and so on. Thank you very much for your attention.